This rock is called lapis lazuli, and it's composed of many different minerals, and they use it to make a pigment called ultramarine blue. The Robo de Virgin Mary very often is ultramarine blue. The powder that you get out of it, it's not a really pretty blue color. And this is what we are doing. We are following a traditional recipe from the 14th century, and we are essentially aiming at extracting only the blue component.
Hi, I'm Jessie. I'm a science-y math kind of person, and yet I work at the Getty. Famous for its art and culture. Ooh, Hercules. So I decided to go on a quest to learn about art and discover all I can about becoming artsy.
Have you ever tried to pick out paint colors from the store from maybe swatches like these and thought, the color options are endless? Well, if we rewind just a few hundred years ago, before options like Cosmic Cobalt and Mega Blue were made available, this is before synthetic pigments were invented, then all we had were the color options from natural pigments found in nature.
I recently volunteered in the Getty Conservation Institute's reference collection room, containing thousands of raw materials found in nature and used in pigments or other art applications. It has rocks, wood, and even dried bugs, plus an archive of pigments, dyes, and paints, all used to help conservators solve art-related mysteries. The experience triggered my own investigation into how on earth people created non-synthetic paint from things like rocks. So I did a little research and recruited a scientist to help me recreate a 14th century recipe for the most impressive and expensive pigment used at the time, even more so than gold, ultramarine blue.
This is how it looks inside, and essentially our goal is to separate everything that is really blue, so the lazurite, from all the other minerals. Did you see?
Oh, I smell.
You
I
smell?
smell
It's
it.
like
Yeah,
sulfur.
it's like sulfur.
Yeah.
The name ultramarine means beyond the sea for the stunning lapis lazuli rock that it's made from.
You have all the flecks of fool's gold, the pyrite in there. It makes it look like the universe. It's almost a pity to destroy it.
But destroy it we did.
Yay!
Things were coming along slowly with the nail hammer we were using. We needed an upgrade.
So Eric has come with another hammer. Pieces are flying.
Even with a bigger hammer, we were still in over our heads. So we put out a call for help.
Come one, come all, come take a swing at the rock. Put my goggles on.
Soon, the word spread.
I was like preparing the
I mean, it's just nice, right?
It's satisfying, especially with the ear protection.
The next steps involve grinding the rock down to an even finer powder, sieving, grinding, sieving, and so on, until finally the powder is so fine, we grind it yet another way.
So you take a little bit of your powder, and then first you wet it with a little water. You take this, which is a heavy glass weight essentially, and you do like an 8 motion. It makes a horrible sound. We're just gonna go this way for a little bit. Come on!
Once the powder is dry, we're ready to add the next ingredients.
So the original recipe calls for 1 pound of ground lapis lazuli. Now 1 pound of lapis is really a lot. So we decided it's not a doable thing, and we downgraded to 200 grams. So mastic, 37.5 grams, I hope.
25.
Okay, we rescale. 25 grams of mastic and beeswax, 50 grams of pine rosin, and 133 grams of lapis.
Here we're melting all of the ingredients together, adding the lapis powder last to make a crayon of sorts. And from there we'll be able to extract the dazzling blue pigment, leaving the impurities from the rock inside of the waxy crayon.
Wow, it's so gray.
So dark, isn't it? Like, it's a blue-gray almost. Yeah. Okay.
First, we need to knead the crayon for about half an hour.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's getting lighter.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, we have to do this part for 2 more days.
That's it for today.
Finally, we make it to extraction day, where we will massage the pigment out of the crayon using a mixture of water and lye.
The task that we have to do today is probably the least well described in the entire procedure.
Put in about a porringer full of lye. What's a porringer full?
Unfortunately, Day 8 only proved just how difficult this centuries-old process is when our soft crayon refused to release the pigment and disintegrated in our hands when we added more lye.
This is not what happened the other time. It's very soft.
We went back to the original recipe to see if we could gain any more insight, but we only found this gem.
And know that making it is an occupation for pretty girls rather than for men.
For they are always at home and reliable, and they have more dainty hands.
Just beware of old women.
Just beware of old women. Okay.
I like that she's descriptive. So, pretty girls and beware of old women, which is like
That is
a good
so
point.
unnecessary.
On day 9, Monica graciously remade the crayon with some remaining lapis powder, using higher quality ingredients found in the reference collection room. Luckily this time, it hardened up the way it was supposed to. Take 2 of extraction day was successful. Look at that. After this dries, we will do our final step, making paint from the pigment. The pigment is what holds the color, but to make it into a paint, we need to add a binder to bind our materials together. In this case, we're using a little linseed oil. But when we were finished, what we were afraid might happen did indeed happen. We did not successfully have an ultramarine paint. We had gray.
we made beautiful ashes.
I do see blue in it.
Yes,
for
absolutely.
sure. Now I see why ultramarine was more expensive than gold, because it is such an in-depth and involved process.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not only like the rock itself that need to be precious, but it's all the work that goes around the many steps, and each step is actually very work intensive.
I know, you carried us.
So up to you to do it again and improve on yourself.
Oh my goodness. You know, I heard in the 1700s they created a synthetic ultramarine and they now sell it in stores.